Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rinse at a time. It is Tuesday morning, and you know what that means. The lumberjack is back. How you doing, sir?
I am up. I am flanneled. I am ready to go. I am uniform ready. It was 29 degrees here last night.
29.
29 last night. Yeah.
29. It's probably 63 right now for me.
Sure. It's 63 and Saturday in Mike's world.
Yeah, exactly. I got short sleeve shirts on. I'm good.
Yeah. I'm flanneled up.
Yeah. 29, dude.
It was chilly.
29. Yeah, that's not good. Anyways, what I wanted to talk to you about is Zillow. I think we can now officially say that Zillow are the worst flippers ever. Right. And I don't joke. I consider that a badge of honor. They will have probably lost more money flipping homes than anybody else ever
in the history of time.
Zillow, congratulations. You are number one.
Yeah.
You are the number one worst flipper ever to exist. So I'll stop there and see what you think of that.
I mean, I think their CEO probably watches too much HGTV.
It's easy, man. All you got to do is use this algorithm. And the algorithm is always right because there's not these extra things like, busy streets and noisy neighbors. And
so my only answer to them is I beat your algorithm, dummy. I mean, like this is the issue that I have with a lot of this stuff is that, AI is good and it's good in a lot of different scenarios. And it's very helpful when you have data. But when you have the real world intrude on that, it can't account for those wildcards. And that's why we always talk about doing your work, understanding your market, understanding the neighborhood. It's not just an algorithm, right? It's not just an algorithm. It can't just be that. So yeah, I think that what I loved about it is I think it's super exciting. Mm-hmm. What I thought was really funny, and I don't know if you want to get there yet, but what I thought was really funny was the reaction to it.
Yeah, let's go. I mean, I'll go to where you want. I have some notes. I've done some digging, but go ahead. So the reaction I thought was, from Captain Graff, and watching his reaction, I'm like, you super doofus, honest to God. Yeah. Like the name that won't be mentioned. Yes.
They have to sell 7,000 properties, Mike, 7,000. They have to sell them. 7,000. Let's put that in perspective, everybody. Mike and I love numbers. 6.5 million homes is how many homes are going to be sold this year. Mm-hmm. That equates to almost 18,000 homes a day. The Zillow mistake, while it might be horrifically bad for them, is not even a fart in a stiff wind. Yeah. It's a who cares, doesn't matter, so what? It is literally, I will help people with the math. It is literally 10 hours of inventory, the 7,000 homes that they have to sell.
Yeah.
It's 10 hours of inventory.
And again, let's be very clear, right? Zillow is a company. They want to get out fast and they will sell them at a loss on purpose. They want them off their books. They report after hours today, they will probably have an accounting charge for $200 to $300 million, right? They're going to absorb the loss now. So this mistake doesn't impact future quarters. Sure. You all can go wild and crazy about them losing 20 grand a house. I did the research. You lose 20 grand, they could lose about $200 million on this, even if it's 300 million. Do you know how much cash Zillow has on the books? Cash, like dollars. You know how much they have on their balance sheet?
Over $1 billion.
$4.735 billion.
Yeah, like
it doesn't matter.
Who cares? It's a that guy in that division gets fired.
Well, actually, he probably gets put on plan. He doesn't actually get fired because he did what he was told, right?
Right. Yeah, sure. Well, I mean, clearly, though, right? This is what we talk about, right? Daily execution. You didn't daily execute.
Well, no, I don't think that's the case. Because I've been thinking about this a lot, right?
Yeah.
Because again, you and I have we've been running teams. I have launched products from zero. So I had a sales team, I had an implementation team, and I had customer service. That's essentially what Zillow has. They have a team that was responsible for buying. They have a team that was responsible for implementing, and then they have a team responsible for selling. That's what they had, right? 3 teams, just like software: sell, implement, customer service. Here's the deal. I screamed, I yelled, I motivated those sales teams. I want you to eat what you kill. I want you to do this. I want you to go aggressive. Nobody's going to beat us. Screw OfferPad. Screw all these other people. We're going to be the biggest, baddest, blah, 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 blah. And they were. Yeah. Now, in hindsight, they were badly. They overpaid.
Sure.
But at the time, they did what they were told.
So I don't disagree. I think what's really interesting though, right, is that if Goldman is right, and 16% increase over the next year, and they have $4 billion in cash, then why take the loss now?
Well, they probably have holding costs. They probably have some,
Right.
Again, I've been the guy at the top of the food chain making these decisions. They're probably going, we're going to clean the decks and start over.
Well, so I agree. I think, but what's interesting though, is that there is the option.
Oh, sure.
To hold.
But they don't want to be a landlord. See, that's the difference.
Agreed.
That's the key. They don't want cash flow.
But necessity, the mother of invention, right?
True.
So you and I work in startups, right? And so we worked in startups, and that's the mentality, right? So when a problem like this arises, that's what makes for a quick merger. That, and they go, I mean, think about it and say, this is going to cost us $200 million.
Is there a better way? Yeah.
What if we acquire somebody who already has a book of business that we can buy for $500 million?
Yeah.
That we can then use to rent out all these homes, and we don't take the loss.
Yeah, they could. Everything I've read, they're already looking to sell off 7,000 homes to Blackstone or someone else. You're right, though. They could go get they seem to be very dominant in Phoenix, Houston, and Atlanta.
Correct.
There's got to be a small, I don't know, maybe it's a medium build for rent, or you're right. Maybe they should just partner and buy, or joint venture, go 51-49 with someone, right? 51%, 49%.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, that's another option. I mean, but again, I don't think Zillow is proven to be, that's just not where they want to go, right? When you look at Zillow's book of business, it's all sales.
Agreed.
Right? It's all pricing and value. But you're right. Who's to say that Zillow couldn't buy Rent-A-Meter or whatever and just branch out to renting? Exactly.
If Zillow's board is watching, or someone on Zillow's board, I am available for consulting for that.
Yeah, it's only 10 grand an hour, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, well, I'll just take a piece. I'll just take a piece, whatever we put back.
You got
in the
equity.
Market for
there you go. That's right. Forget the hour.
So,
I'll take the equity.
But that's the key, is I think that me personally, because that is their model, because that is how they built their company, I think that they have blinders on, and they're not doing the right thing. And so this really falls into play. And the reason why I think this is an option is because this is what you and I do, Mike.
Absolutely.
This is just a much grander scale, but we are better operators than they are.
Well, I think you're right. Because again, near as I can tell, these houses are owned free and clear because they paid cash for them. At least that's what it appears.
Yep.
So you're right. They could take those 7,000 homes, buy, or frankly, start up a renting division. Yes. Go ladder them up 50% LTV. So very conservative, get most of their money back.
That's right.
And now they have another outcome, right? We can't sell it for 412. We'll just rent it. We'll rent it for a year.
That's right.
Wow. You're a pretty smart guy.
Yeah. Not for a dropout and all, but sometimes.
Yeah.
But like literally, I always look at the situation, like what if I owned it and what if I had to come up with a solution? That's what I would do. You could instantly become one of the nation's largest single family home rental organizations.
Oh, yeah. 7,000 units probably puts you in the top. Got to be in the top 1%, man.
Right.
Certainly 2%.
And again, it gives you another avenue. Do you believe in Goldman Sachs and the 16% increase we're going to see over the next year? If that is the case, then certainly you'll have some loss and things like that with some of those properties and the wrong tenants and that sort of stuff. But you've never seen the same shortage of housing that you've ever seen in this market today. You can get that 16% increase. You can get the highest rents that have ever been gotten.
Yeah, somebody's going I mean, what you're saying here makes total sense because somebody's going to buy them and rent them out. Those 7,000 units are not going to become owner occupied.
No,
it's done. They're going to become
rentals,
and somebody might as well be the landlord. And you're right, Zillow or a Zillow spinoff or division or whatever. I think that makes perfect sense. Still the worst flippers ever, but hey, you got another outlet for
100%. Well, but here's the thing though. What I do love about this is that it further emboldens people that are doing the work in your course, right?
Absolutely.
It further encourages them saying, there's opportunity. There's opportunity here. And again, I think
multiple exits.
Yes. And always looking at the fact that just because you had X plan going in, because we know what their plan was going in.
Oh, cool.
Go in, buy, redo, sell for a lot more money, and look how much more money we made.
Mm-hmm.
You have to pivot when you've made a mistake, when you've stepped in it, when you've and it's proof that you can overspend on redoing a house.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to see the contractors that were working for them too. I'd love to kind of get a feel for what those contractors.
Yeah. So I've talked to a couple of agents, mainly in Phoenix, but one in Houston. And again, calling them the worst flippers ever is not an understatement. They didn't even do good work.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Right. Because I mean, they basically are operating like November, which is, I can't believe it's already November, is April, right? April, anything sold.
Yeah,
anything
exactly.
Sold. It's not April, and they didn't adjust. The work is shoddy, poor, not complete, poor quality and materials, and they overpaid.
Here's also why this doesn't happen to anybody that's taken your course, is because a lot of the issues that they had were because of scale.
Yes, it's so not. It reminds me of the .com crash, right? You put a .com behind anything and you just let it run, and it worked for a while until it didn't. Exactly. The real estate, again, Omar, right, who I'll talk to in about 45 minutes. The market was so good in February, anybody could flip a home. It was going up that fast, and Zillow didn't pivot. But you're right. Instead of taking the huge loss, pivot, become landlords, or partner with someone who already is an operator, ladder up to 50% LTV. Don't take the loss, because then you'll be able to keep them on your books at par.
Yes.
And just wait. Damn, that's cheap.
Mike. They would blow doors off next quarter's earnings that fast.
Oh yeah.
They would blow doors off next quarter's earnings, having 50% occupancy in those buildings.
For sure. Because right now they're zero, right? They're just dead weight. Right. It's taxes, insurance, maintenance. You fill up 95% of them with paying tenants. You have, if you're 50% LTV, I don't know the markets, but you're going to assume 30% operating margin.
Yeah.
Woo.
Massive.
Not a bad day. And by the way, as the 16% with Goldman Sachs comes through, you just keep marking the market every year, maybe every 6 months.
Yep.
That's Zillow. I think you need to hire a consult with the lumberjack, because and give him a little piece, because I think he just created a way for you to not look, because right today, Zillow, you look stupid.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Yeah. Like the black eye that they get, right?
Yeah.
They look like a bunch of morons that had too much money and didn't know what to do with it.
Well, they do have too much money. They have $4.7 billion in cash.
They do.
You make, when you have, again, I think it was Jonathan Twombly and I talked about this last week. When you're getting 0% on 4.7 billion, you make stupid choices. Like, roll the dice. I lose 9 out of 12, but hey, those 3 times I win. So yeah, it's like, screw it. We got 4.7 billion. What's 200 million? It's 5%.
Yeah. I mean, so real quickly, it is, it's, so if you just rented those out at average $2,000 a month, you are 7,000 units. You're $14 million a month. Their net, I think their net, what did they make last?
I don't know. I didn't pick that up, but again, I mean, so 100, what'd you say? 140? No, 14 million.
It's 14 million. It's 100. That's 68 million a year. Yeah.
So even if you just assume 20% profit, because again, we're only talking about 50% LTV.
Yeah.
Dude, that's what, 2.8 million a month.
It's 30 million over the year. It's over 30 million bucks over the year in one business unit that would take not a ton, because you're figuring at 20%. I mean, that's a lot of money.
And again, they could go get they can go get a 50. They would not do 7,000 loans. They would go to JP Morgan or BlackRock or Blackstone and go, we want one portfolio loan, 7,000 units. It'd be a layup. They'd probably get money at 2%.
Exactly. So what's their cost basis? Almost nothing.
Yeah. It's just, that's what they should do. Zillow, you are the worst flippers, but congratulations. It's been never been a better time to be a single family landlord. You're welcome.
Yeah. Exactly. And I mean, like, yeah, I
Do
just,
the work.
yeah, I mean, exactly. Somebody in Zillow needed to have taken your course is the problem.
Yeah, exactly. You know, somebody from Zillow reach out. Maybe I'll give it to you just so you can, look better. Give me a piece of equity or some RSUs or something. Yeah,
Perfect.
there you go. Well, Matt, thank you very much for this. It's been a lot of fun. Again, Zillow, the worst flippers ever, but congratulations. You stepped in and smell like a rose.
I know, right? It's
Yeah.
good. It's a good day.
It's a good day to not lose $200 million. So Mr. Lumberjack, how can people find you?
11:30 a.m. Eastern time on Sunday. We did 3.5 hours on Sunday.
That's
Questions, answers, lots of fun. And really, we saw it all up and down the scope. We had some people from England attend.
Nice.
It was really a lot of fun. Yeah. So 11:30 a.m. Eastern time, live stream every Sunday after One Rental at a Time's financial news. We are there and answering questions.
Very cool, buddy. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Mhm.